All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Big Mouth, Season 5, Episode 2, The Shane Lizard Rises.
Woof.
This one's a doozy.
Wow.
I don't really have much of a hot take about this other than, I mean, your body's normal and natural and
all of this stuff is true and happens in middle and high school.
I could hear myself being like, I'm pro cosmetic surgery. I think you should do what you want to do to be the best version of you that you can possibly be within healthy boundaries.
But the problem is so many people do it in reaction to this type of like bullying and like commentary from their peers and stuff. And like, that's where it gets really dangerous.
Well, where it gets really dangerous is from like a health developmental psychological stage. We have no business being in middle school.
Yeah.
It was something I read that I was fascinated by, but it was between the ages of like 12 and 14. It's like we have the ability to know how to hurt each other, but we don't have the wisdom or understanding to know not to do it.
Yeah.
To know why you shouldn't. And so it's actually very detrimental. And one of the articles I was reading was saying that, like, in particular for middle school, that youth should be doing
like community service
work and stuff like within the community, because the social interaction is also very necessary. It's very pivotal, but
if you're focusing on doing something good for other people, then you're less likely to like what Devin does in this episode, which is point at Lola's camel toe and tell her that her labia is too big.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, so some labias are too big.
Well, some labias are bigger than others.
Oh, okay. I mean, again, this is going to be more of an insight into our worldviews, our sex.
So there's like lots of different things that can happen. Sometimes the like inner labia is longer than the outer labia, and
I guess I have heard and even seen.
I hate to bring it up because it's a term that I find absolutely repugnant, but that is where the phrase beef curtains comes from. I hate it. It's the worst.
I don't know. I was sort of like, oh God, is that I guess, so it's like, I guess I knew that vaginas are like snowflakes,
but are all different.
I didn't think of it as being a point of pure ridicule or shame.
So, I mean, generally you wouldn't know if your friend had a larger labia than you. But depending on your friendships,
I mean, I guess my girlfriends have compared nipples and stuff. Sure. So, okay, I get it. But
then the point is that, like, because Lola has a visible camel toe, it's in the swimsuit specifically, it's something that Devin can focus on.
Okay. Which I also think that children this age have no business being in bathing suits
in front of other people. Well, I mean, I was constantly.
But that was swim team. That was an elective. It wasn't a school mandated.
Yeah, it wasn't gym class.
We had to do gym class, and no. I wanted to say the title, "The Shane Lizard Rises." It's the Shame Wizard, played by David Thewlis.
I love him in this role,
and it was. We also got to see his dick.
Spooky.
Just Google Dementor.
Yeah.
But that was because him and Coach Steve were setting up the episode and then just went into Pulp Fiction. Yeah. And I got there literal milliseconds before Steve was like, I love you, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, what was it? Whether it's like Honey Bunny, something in Honey Bunny, yeah.
And so he thinks his name is Shane Lizard, Shame Wizard, because it's Coach Steve.
Still, Coach Steve is not my favorite.
No.
Whatever.
I don't know. I mean, we can run down the list. Well, we do know Nick has a small penis. Yeah. The commercial. I wish we could just play the commercial in its entirety.
My God.
For the penis pump.
That was potentially the funniest thing this show has ever done. And I mean, and maybe like most shows. That was like pure comedy. I thought that scene was so funny. The whole little commercial. Especially at the end of it where he goes, I left the gun on the table. You know what to do with it. Dead. So funny.
Well, especially her making fun of his small penis and then going to the women's march.
Yeah. And then he was going to the women's march to put some sense into those women. And then the fact that your penis will be so big you won't mind that it's weirdly cold. It's weirdly ice cold. Oh, brother. So funny.
Missy had back knee. Jesse hadn't started shaving yet. When do you start shaving?
So much like Jesse, I started shaving before my mom allowed me to start shaving, and I have a permanent scar on my knee from cutting myself so bad. My mom got really mad at me, and I was like, you wouldn't let me do it, so I did it by myself, and this is what happened.
With like a rusty razor at your dad's house. Jesse.
Well, yeah, Jesse did. No, I used my mom's razor because I didn't have my own. It was not rusty though, because that I can't even imagine. But yeah, I pushed too hard and I took a whole chunk out of my knee. It was bad. It was bad news. But I want to hear from other women watching this who amongst us has not done the same. That's the only time I like gouged myself. I've nicked myself since then.
I was gonna say, I mean, I've only ever really shaved my face. I've never shaved my legs, but I've only like actually cut myself like once or twice. I find it very easy to not do.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess legs are different.
Legs are different.
Body
There's
is
lots
different
of
than
also a lot of your bones in your leg are closer to the surface.
That's true.
And it's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot more different angles and curves.
That's
on the leg.
very, very, very
and
true.
And the knee is bizarre.
We did get Aiden back, Matt and Aiden. They're kind of secondary. Well, Matt's kind of secondary. It's Andrew Rannells. I mean, he's in every episode, but he's not like one of the core four. Although I did really like his. So I had forgotten that Matt and Jay kind of had a thing.
Yeah. And Matt is like newly obsessed with Jay's uncut dick.
Yeah. the Shailene Woodley of penises.
Natural.
And so, because Maury is also Matt's hormone monster, and so he saved a snapshot for it, and he was way more into Jay than Aiden. But then he also had a fantasy of the shame wizard, and Maury making out, and he was sort of like, I wonder what this says about me.
Psychologically, it was very funny.
It's the stuff like that is really sort of the magic of the show, I think, because I do love the power the kids have over the hormones. Or the
monsters,
the monsters. There you go.
And I do love that all the kids do have a level of self-awareness about themselves. Like,
well, I was about to say the power that they have over the monsters and the powers the monsters have over them. Yeah. Like, because
also the runner with Mona and Hugh Grant. I love it.
That's how you get the spoon out.
Well, because she the whole time is like, "Fuck me with a rusty spoon," and Missy is like, oh God, is the back knee that bad? And she's like, no, that's the text I received from Hugh Grant. And then it just keeps popping up. She's like, maybe I should fuck him with a clean spoon and just tell him it's dirty so no one gets sick. And then she's like, would your parents be upset if Hugh Grant came over right now? It's just very funny.
We also had, oh God, I mean, this is a show full of upsetting visuals, but we had the upsetting visual of Andrew's junk as the Joker.
I don't like it. Well, okay, so at least
it better win an Oscar. That's apparently what you do.
At least it was the
Heath
Ledger Joker.
Could you even? I didn't even think about.
Yeah,
Joaquin Phoenix.
I worried. But at least it was because it was the walking away from the exploding hospital, not the like stupid. If it had done that dance down those stairs in the Bronx, I would have shit myself.
I mean, there's still time.
Oh God,
there's 8 episodes left.
But he had too many pubes, and so he was trying to trim his pubes.
I think there was too many. I think there was too much of it.
Yeah, too much pubes.
But that makes it sound like there's like too many hairs.
I mean, probably. What do you think that means?
Thicker, I guess.
I think it's
like fuller.
I think it's a two-pronged issue.
Okay, I'm choosing to let this go.
So he was trying to trim it, but then his hormone monster startled him, and so he cut himself, and so then he put Nair all over it, and then the shame wizard made him pour peroxide on it, and then it turned it green, and oh God, it just was all so much. Too much stuff on your junk.
It was too much. And so then we also met Rodney, who I guess and hope is going to be recurring. He was hot as far as cartoon characters go. Lola's mom's parole officer.
Yeah. I love that Jesse was like, Lola, is this your dad? And
we've never met her mother. Yeah. So.
And she was like, no, this is my mom's parole officer, and my emergency contact, which I thought was very funny and sad. Poor Lola. I feel like Lola didn't stand a chance.
No.
She put an egg up her hoo-ha. A chicken egg. She put a chicken egg up her hoo-ha. And then, but I do love that she then made an egg salad sandwich for Devin as revenge. But
Devin.
But then ate some of it herself.
Because she was hungry and it was apparently good. Then she got her head stuck in
in the closing circle.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, that was episode 2. I don't...
It is deeply funny.
Uh-huh.
And I love it.
Uh-huh.
But there are some upsetting things that happen.
We'll more than likely see you after the next episode.
Bye.